Howdy, y'all.
Oh my god.
And welcome to another episode
Oh my god.
of
That's not even another language.
Buzzpucks. I'm Texas. Howdy, y'all. So welcome back. We're here for week 9 of the NHL.
Now, if you're going to do a southern accent, you got to do it right.
No. I don't gotta do shit right. How many languages have I said maybe wrong?
Most.
Yeah, probably. I know Ola was correct.
Congratulations. We're Buzzpucks.
We're Buzzpucks, and we're back. And I think both of us are in a little bit better mood than the last couple of weeks. So. Yeah, like I said, we're here for week 9.
You're Bert. I'm Clay.
Oh, yeah, I'm Bert. I'm Bert. That's Clay.
Starting off great.
Some fun things happened this week. Some interesting, I don't know what to call it. Like turns of fate. Let's call it that. Ooh. So before we get started, as always, Clay, what are we drinking?
We are drinking Resurgence Brewery from Buffalo, where I just came from.
Buffalo.
It is their seasonal vanilla cappuccino pumpkin ale with spices.
Spicy.
I hope this beer is as good as I remember it being 5 years ago.
Let's hope so, because you said you bought a bunch of it.
Yeah, I've been hyping this up for like a year now. All right, let's go. Oh, yeah. Some good stuff.
Oh, that is pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
That is pretty good.
Oh, heck yes.
All right.
I don't feel bad about clearing out a grocery store.
Take that, Wegmans. I'm going to start with the Central Division because one of the teams we have to talk about the most.
I want to pause.
Already?
It was between this and Sponge Cake beer.
Ooh, I probably like that one too. This is also good.
That's their winter seasonal.
Sponge
I
Cake.
need them to expand past Buffalo.
Come down further. So let's start with the Central Division, where we need to talk about the Arizona Coyotes. First of all, they went 0-3, and they are the first team to lose 20 games this year.
Woo!
5-20-2 overall is their record. Yikes!
Yeah, they're what they thought they were.
Yeah. 1-8 on the power. 1 for 8 on the power play. 8 for 11 on the penalty kill. Both not great. I'm just until they turn it around, they're not getting a top play. Both
Take
Ryan.
that, Keller.
Yeah. Take that, Jacob Chikrin, who is out. I think him and Dzingel are both out short term.
You gotcha.
For them, but there is a controversy with them we should discuss. Whereas apparently they haven't been paying their taxes or arena fees in Glendale.
They just paid off their taxes.
They paid off the taxes, but there's still some outstanding arena bills.
1.4 million taxes.
I mean, theoretically, that's a lot of money to like me and you, and probably most of the people that are listening to this podcast. But like, that should be nothing really for these teams. You know, for most of these teams. But like that in conjunction with that story, was it last week or the week before, where they were like, "Oh, they're for sale again," and
everyone
a buyer
being like, "No,"
is gonna maybe move them to Houston.
Yeah,
and it's just like, so I think maybe this experiment in Arizona has failed.
I mean, we got an Austin Matthews.
I understand that, but well, here's the thing. Vegas has already proved that hockey in the desert works.
Yes.
It's just Arizona
can't do it.
Just keeps running their wheels in the sand.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and just like not going anywhere. They're not making money because they're usually not very good.
They might be locked out of their arena this coming week.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything more about that. I have a feeling the NHL is going to pay
100%
that to make that not happen.
Because
that would look really bad for any pro sports team for that to happen to.
They're refusing to believe that, like, they're refusing to throw in the towel.
Oh yeah, did you see Gary Bettman said they are not leaving Arizona?
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. Clearly, Glendale's not working out. Maybe they go back to Phoenix,
Tempe,
Houston,
San Antonio.
It out there. Either one of those, you could even keep the name Coyotes.
Yeah.
because there's coyotes everywhere.
Everywhere.
So like
You could
keep
There's already basketball arenas in those cities, so you split
just
it
piggyback
there.
off of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just feel like, and they're terrible. I mean, we knew that they were going to be bad. They're trying to be bad.
They're trying to be bad.
Excuse me. But obviously that's not going to help ticket sales for their games.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I haven't looked at what's it called, attendance for teams, but I can't imagine they're very high. So I don't know. To me, I feel like the Arizona hockey experiment has pretty much failed. And I think the Coyotes should if Houston wants a team that bad, they should just have the Coyotes.
100%.
And just be like, here's your new team. They're bad.
Yeah.
Have fun. They have a bunch of young guys. Like Jacob Chikrin's young.
Mm-hmm.
Clayton Keller's young. They did have Christian Dvorak. But they traded him.
Right.
So I don't know, and I mean, I think they have like a stockpile of draft picks.
Yes, they do.
And
because
so
of what
like,
they
I
traded
mean, maybe
with.
a year or two they might be pretty good. You never know. But I don't know. I just seemingly, I think maybe the folks in Arizona might be fed up with them as a whole.
They might,
because there's just like all of this turmoil with them all the time. So like
it's like what Atlanta had. When the Thrashers were a team.
Well,
the ownership group.
Yeah, it was the ownership group. Yeah. Now, I mean, if the Coyotes were run well and were a better team, would they have good attendance? I don't know. Maybe.
Probably.
I mean, they went to a couple of Western Conference finals back in the earlier 2000s or the earlier 2010s. But
no one wants to throw money. No fans want to throw money at a consistently bad team.
No. That's true for any sport.
Proves that they can't do it. Like
the ownership proves that they either don't care
or incompetent.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with them. I think obviously they're going to finish out their season somewhere in Arizona.
Yeah.
Past that, I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see. It'll be interesting to see what shakes out with that.
Yeah.
If the NHL next year is like, and they're going to Houston.
Yep.
Or they're going to San Antonio or wherever. As long as they keep them somewhere in the Central Division, I don't care.
Right.
I don't care where they go. But like I also see people online being like, oh, Quebec City, here they come. They're not gonna.
They're never going to Quebec.
We've harped on this several times now. I don't know if it's they're never going to put another team in Quebec City, but they're not going to display. They're not going to upset the balance between the two conferences right after they got it back with Seattle.
If they're putting a team in Quebec, they're adding another team in every division because we're already at 30.
Yeah.
We already got the perfect spot.
And I don't think they're not going to
up.
expand again for a while,
right.
if ever. So I think the Quebec City thing is a pipe dream for people.
For Quebec.
Yeah. And I saw somebody...
The Nordics were good, and then they left.
Yeah, and then they moved. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Yep.
As long as we get to keep those Kachina jerseys, wherever they go, they should just keep them.
100%.
Even though I'm sure they're native to a tribe that is in Arizona.
Yeah.
But maybe they can be like, please, can we keep them? They're really cool looking. Alright, let's move on to a team who's had slightly more success than Arizona this year in the Chicago Blackhawks, who were 1-2 this week.
Mm-hmm.
10-15-2 overall. 1 for 9 on the power play, 2 for 6 on the penalty kill. 2 for 6 on the penalty kill. And pretty fart of a week. But they did shut out Montreal, and in that win, that was Marc-Andre Fleury's 500th career win. Congratulations, Fleury. He is only the third player ever, other than Waugh and Brodeur, to get 500 wins, and he did it with a shutout against his childhood team too, Montreal.
Yep.
Because he is either from Montreal. He's from French Canada somewhere. I think he is actually from Montreal. So congratulations to Marc-Andre Fleury. I know you're listening.
Good for him.
I know you're listening, Mark.
Uh-huh.
I shook your hand one time.
I was about to say that.
Unfortunately for Chicago, I always struggle with this guy's name. Kyra? I think his name is Huhar Kyra.
Oh, he got blown up
Yeah,
by Truba.
Yes, he got blown up in the boards, and unfortunately he has a concussion, so he is on the IR.
It wasn't the boards. It was an open ice hit.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, apologies. Well, he got blown up in either direction. He has a concussion, and so, who knows when he might be back. Some guys recover faster from concussions, some guys it takes for a while.
This is his third concussion in a calendar year.
Ooh, that's not good.
Yeah,
He might be out for a while.
He might be done.
We'll see. Every time Sidney Crosby gets a concussion, everybody's like, he's dead.
Well, no, he's got concussion issues. But he's got an actual history of concussion, worse than Crosby.
So, hopefully, speedy recovery to Kyra. And hopefully no long-lasting.
No long-term effects.
And you know what? If you need to call it quits, you call it quits. It's your health. It's your body. And then also Reese Johnson is on the IR for an injured collarbone. Moving on to a team that did much better than those other two teams, the Colorado Avalanche. 4-0 this week. And in 3 of those 4 games, they scored 7 goals.
Yeah,
They're the first team since, I believe, 96 to score 7 goals in 3 straight games.
I think they've been outscoring the Denver Broncos.
They have.
Yeah,
they have. And it's crazy. They scored 7 against Philly, the Rangers, and Detroit. And then they also beat Florida.
Yep.
They are 16-7-2 overall. 5 for 15 on the power play. 12 for 16 on the penalty kill.
It's very good.
Now, they have scored a bunch of goals, but they have also given up a bunch of goals.
Yeah.
In that Philly game, they won 7-5. And then gave up 3 to both the Rangers and Detroit. So, they're kind of playing like an 80s team. Where Basically, it's just like, let's just score a ton, both sides.
Defense optional.
Defense optional, yeah. I had to give them 3 top players this week because there's 3 guys that had great weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Mikko Rantanen had 8 points, 2 goals, and 6 assists. Devin Tays had 7 assists.
That's crazy.
And then Andre Burakovsky had 5 goals this week.
And his first career hat trick.
Against
Florida.
Yeah. Real good week for all 3 of those. Real good week just in general for Colorado.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Byram, Kadri, and Landeskog are all out. Although I didn't see a timetable for those guys, I don't think it's like a long term. But despite having 3 of their top guys out, well, Byram's a younger guy, but he's been playing well.
Kadri's been playing insane this year.
Still beat Florida.
Yeah.
So good job, Colorado. Moving on to Dallas. They went 2-2 this week for a grand total of 13-10-2 overall. I thought they were doing better this year for some reason.
Well, they started out really bad and then went
that's
really long streak.
That's what it was, yeah.
They went on like a 2-week streak.
Yeah. They were 4 for 13 on the power play, but 3 of those power play goals came in one game against Vegas, and they lost that game.
Yep.
Which is really funny. They were 8 for 8 on the penalty kill. Jamie Benn had 2 goals and 2 assists as their top player this week. And in very sad news, Ben Bishop, at the beginning of the week, we saw news that he got sent down to their AHL affiliate for a conditioning stint, which usually means that guy is going to be coming back from injury soon.
He let in 8 goals.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very good.
On 35,
well, I didn't see that.
On 35 shots.
I didn't see that. That's pretty bad. But in either direction,
he stayed on the LTI.
They recalled him, and I was like, oh, shit. Maybe he's, like, ready to go. And then their GMs came out and said that Ben Bishop's career is over.
He's done.
The nagging, I think it was a degenerative knee injury. Has essentially ended his career. So that's sad. Ben Bishop was a very good goalie.
When he was healthy.
He was a very good goalie. He played for Ottawa, but not for that long. He was a good goalie for Tampa, and he was a good goalie for Dallas while he was healthy.
Yes.
But that's very unfortunate that his career had to end early. So we wish him all the best. He goes back on LTIR for the rest of his career, and I think he only has one more year left on his contract anyway.
He does.
So the rest of this year, and I'm sure he'll announce his retirement at the end of the year.
Yep.
So that sucks. I'm sorry, Ben Bishop.
Yeah.
Wish you the best. I'm sure you'll become a coach or something.
100%, yeah.
And one interesting thing, still speaking about Dallas goalies, is they put Anton Hudobin on waivers today.
Waivers?
Yeah.
Waivers?
Yeah, waivers.
I didn't see that.
That was announced just a couple of hours ago, and that took me by surprise.
Someone's going to pick him up.
Absolutely, someone's going to pick him up. So Holtby must have outright won the job, and they have that younger guy, Jake Ottinger, who has been playing well too, and so they must have been like,
Hudobin was the odd man out, unfortunately. But that's why they got Holtby in the first place, because they knew something was up with Ben Bishop.
Yeah. So I agree with you. I think somebody's going to pick up Hudobin. He has 1 year left on his contract, and I think I saw it was $375 million for this year. Somebody's going to pick that up. Somebody who needs a goalie.
With so many teams, needing a goalie, he's not passing through waivers.
Yeah, I mean, I could see the Oilers grabbing him. I could see, any number of teams grabbing him. Unfortunately, maybe Arizona. It depends on who on the waiver wire wants him.
Is first, yeah.
Yeah, who is first and wants him. So we'll see. If I was Edmonton and he got to me, I would take him.
Oh, 100%.
Because he's proven that he can be the guy. He's not a star goalie, but he's proven that he can play in the playoffs. And that's more you can say. I mean, they have Mike Smith who can play in the playoffs, but
Mike Smith is back on the LTIR.
Oh boy, the Oilers got to be praying that they can get Hudobin.
Yeah, I was going to
I guarantee if he makes it to them, they're going to take him.
He must have had another setback in his recovery.
That sucks. See, that's scary too, because that's getting to the point where Mike Smith's kind of an older player
he's
too.
40.
Yeah, so I think he's one of Chara's the oldest playing right now, so Mike Smith has got to be getting close. He's 40. Chara's I think 43.
Chara's 44.
Yeah.
Craig Anderson's 42.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting Craig Anderson's still in the league.
He's hurt on Buffalo.
One of these poor old guys.
Yeah.
All right. Well, again, sorry, Ben Bishop. Oilers pick up Hudobin.
Buffalo might pick up Hudobin because they're dealing with some goalie injuries.
Well, they would be ahead of. And in case anybody doesn't know, the way that the waiver wire. Thank you. I'm sorry. Is decided is I believe it's reverse standings order. So the worst team gets first crack at guys on waivers, and if they don't want him, obviously it keeps going down until somebody wants him.
Yep.
Unless nobody wants him.
If he clears.
So we'll see. Maybe Buffalo. Edmonton's got to be praying.
But with all the teams in front of Edmonton, they're so high on the waiver wire.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Somebody's going to take him. Somebody is definitely going to take him.
Buffalo's playing Luukkonen as their starter.
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen?
Yes.
Love that guy.
It's a great name.
Such a cool name. All right, well, let's move on to Minnesota, who I apparently missed had a game last night until today. I already finished their week, and then I was like, wait, they played yesterday? I was like, shit.
They played Vegas.
They did play Vegas. They lost to Vegas. They were 2-2 this week, 19-8-1 overall, 5 for 13 on the power play, 14 for 17 on the penalty kill. I was, before I realized they had a game last night, going to give their top player to Cam Talbot, who had a great week except for last night. And so instead, I gave it to Eric Sinek, who had 2 goals and 3 assists this week.
Yeah.
So they did beat Edmonton and San Jose. They lost to LA, and they lost to Vegas. I realized I didn't mention who the other teams beat, but whatever. We're not going to go back. Unfortunately, Jonas Brodin is out with an injury, but I didn't see a timetable for that one either. So hopefully it's day to day. Moving on to Nashville, who is having a confusingly good season. Also 4-0 this week.
They went 4-0.
They were 4-0 this
week. Just realized that.
Mm-hmm.
I knew about
Nashville had a very, very good week.
I knew about their shutout.
They went their overall 17-10-1. They beat Detroit. They beat the Islanders. They beat New Jersey, and they shut out the Rangers.
It's hard to do.
Yeah, that's quite an accomplishment this season. The Rangers are very good. 1 for 6 on the power play. Only 6 power plays in 4 games. That's weird.
I have
one that beats that too. 8 for 10 on the penalty kill. Meh. And as for their top players, I have to give it to both goalies because obviously both goalies played 2 games this week.
Yep.
One of them had a shutout, but they overall only gave up 7 goals in 4 games.
That's good.
Real good.
That's real good.
Real good for both of them. It's UC Saros, and I can't remember the second guy's name. My apologies for that second guy. But their goalies played fantastic this week. Nashville had a very good week, and they're in a good spot in the standings right now. St. Louis also had a pretty good week, 3-0-1.
Mm-hmm.
Take them to 15-8-5 overall. They were 3 for 12 on the power play, 8 for 8 on the penalty kill.
That's what you want.
Their goalie, Charlie Lindgren, was 3-0 this week.
Good for him.
With a 142 goals against and a 947 save percentage.
Wow.
Yeah, boy was on fire. And he's like a younger goalie, too.
Oh, I don't know that name.
Yeah, I don't know why he's playing over Binnington. He must just be outplaying him. I didn't see anything about Binnington being hurt.
He might be day-to-day.
Yeah. So, Lindgren, real good week for him. And finally, in the Central Division, we got the Winnipeg Jets, who were a measly 1-1-1 this week compared to the last 3 that we talked about.
Yeah.
13-9-5 overall, so Winnipeg's starting to kind of dip down in the standings.
Or other teams
are starting to overtake them.
Yep. Come back.
They were 2 for 10 on the power play, 8 for 10 on the penalty kill. So not bad.
Nope.
Kyle Connor had 3 goals, 2 assists. Blake Wheeler had a goal and 4 assists. But unfortunately, Blake Wheeler also got a knee injury, and he is out, quote, a while.
Oof.
And Neil Pionk is also on the IR with concussion issues.
When did he get a concussion?
Oh, I don't know.
We'll talk
it
about
might have been
it.
against Toronto.
Who would have thought?
Oh, I'm sorry. St. Louis beat Florida, beat Detroit, beat Montreal, and then lost to Anaheim in overtime. Winnipeg lost to Carolina, shut out Seattle, and lost to Vancouver in a shootout. So,
I'm up.
That's the Central Division. Clay, tell me.
We're going to stay in the Western Conference.
About the Pacific, then.
We're going to be in the Pacific. All right, so first up is Anaheim, who played 5
Number
games.
1 in the Pacific.
Number 1 in the Pacific.
Number 1.
Because they had 5 games this week.
The Dark Horse.
Went 3-1-1.
Hell yeah, they did. Anaheim's looking good.
Looking great.
I love it. I love the Ducks. I always have because I just love the...
Not since they've been orange. Bring back the purple
bring back
and
the
teal.
green. Bring back the purple and teal. But ever since I was a kid, like the Ducks were one of the Western Conference teams. I was like, I like them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I watched that Mighty Ducks cartoon as a child.
It wasn't even so much that. I was just like, I like that they're named the Ducks. Like one of the least intimidating animals that you could name a team after.
Unless you know ornithology.
That's true. Ducks are assholes.
All right. So, like Bert said, they are 16-9-5.
Hell yeah.
Top of the division.
Hell yeah.
They.
Oh, I remember something I want to talk about too.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it up.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah, of course I'm gonna bring it up.
Because I texted you about it, you did not answer me.
Did I not?
No. Anyway, keep going.
Okay. All right. Either way, lost to Washington in a shootout. Shut out Buffalo. Shootout win against Columbus. Lost to Pittsburgh. Shut out
Pittsburgh.
That
was a good game.
And then again beat St. Louis in overtime.
Yeah, beat St. Louis in overtime.
All right. So they were 0 for 6 on the power play.
Not many.
6 power plays in 5 games.
Wow, yeah.
But 8 for 8 on the penalty kill.
Right on.
Henrique is back on the IR with a lower body.
Oh, that sucks.
Hopefully short term, but still.
That sucks.
And then the top players, we're going to Sonny Milano and Troy Terry. Both had 2 goals and 1 assist.
One of those Sonny Milano goals was dope as fuck.
Zegras had 3 assists.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that Zegras goal, the assist,
Yeah.
is connected with Sonny Milano.
So if you folks didn't see it, I would say go look it up. It's a really cool goal.
Basically, Zegras lacrossed it from behind the net,
Yeah.
flipped it over the net to Sonny Milano, who batted it down.
Yeah. The first time I saw it, I was like, that was a high stick. And then I saw the slow-mo, I was like, oh, it was really close to being a high stick, but it was not.
They challenged it.
It wasn't. So the rule of thumb is, I believe, your stick has to be below
the crossbar.
The crossbar.
Yeah.
Which is, and it's also, that's a it's just below the crossbar.
It's got to be below the crossbar, otherwise
and it was.
You have guys swinging and hitting other guys in the face.
So the first time I saw it, I was like, that was a high stick. And then I watched the slow-mo, I was like, oh, it was very close, but it was not a high stick.
Nah, son. So it's probably the goal of the year already.
It was really cool, yeah.
I think that's better than McDavid going through one guy, but three guys are around, but they're not guarding him.
Play defense.
Well, they're not guarding him.
Yeah. I think it's more fun. It's more fun than that goal.
Oh wait, McDavid's done
it twice.
Then
McDavid's goal, yeah.
He's done it twice. So
he didn't do that though.
No, he did not.
Do that, Connor.
Pull a Michigan,
boy.
But yes. So what Bert wants to talk about?
Oh my God!
Is there some old heads,
dude,
who are not a fan?
I was watching the Penguins-Washington game, and that game was exclusively on ESPN Plus
and Hulu.
But so they have their own crew for those games, and one of the people in that crew is John Tortorella,
who Bert has feelings about.
Oh my God! And like he had the most dinosaur take I could think about. He was like, I don't think it's good for the game, and they were like, why?
But here's the thing: he
didn't give a good answer.
An actual answer.
He didn't give a good reason why it was bad for the game. He was just like, I miss the times when this was an honest, tough game. And it's just like, oh, you want to go back to the times where everybody was just fucking killing each other.
At what point was...
Shut up, John Tortorella.
At what point was what happened dishonest? You didn't hide the puck in the jersey.
It wasn't. He didn't do anything dishonest. He didn't do anything illegal. It was just really cool.
You can defend that.
Yeah. Just pay attention.
You can...
And, I'm sorry that not every player on the ice is Brandon Dubinsky. John Tortorella, who's just going to cross-check guys and, like, hold them, and that's what you want. But that's such boring.
Also,
yeah,
Pavel Datsyuk was doing that 20 years ago.
Yeah. So, like, let's not act like there hasn't been skill. Like, look at the stuff Pavel Datsyuk did back
20 years ago.
20 years ago.
He was trying that
just as impressive.
He was trying those goals.
Yeah. So, like, it's just, I hate those takes from the hockey media or the guys who are, like, higher up in the hockey, like, executives.
Yeah.
You know? Excuse me. That are like, I don't like it that they're having fun. It's just like, why? If you have this huge new TV deal, and you don't want them to do cool stuff. John Tortorella himself was like, it was really cool, but I don't know if it was great for the game. Like, shut up. It was totally great for the game, because then little kids who are, like, maybe just tangentially watching hockey with, like, their mom or dad see that and are like, oh, that was so cool.
Austin Matthews talks about being at the game where Ovi scored from his back.
That was sweet, too.
That made him want to play hockey.
Exactly. So, like, little kids watching hockey are going to see goals like that and be like, I want to be a hockey player. That was so cool. And they're not going to see, like, oh, let's play the trap and dump and chase and, like, grab guys and, like, slow the game down and, like, have it not be interesting at all and just have it be super boring and the early 2000s again. Shut up, John Tortorella. No. I know you're listening. I'll fight you. Catch me outside, John Tortorella. How about that?
It was a great goal.
It was such a bad take. That was such a cool goal.
Zegras' face afterwards, he can't believe it worked.
Yeah. If you guys haven't seen pictures of it, he put, like, both his hands on his head, was just like, I can't believe that just happened.
Exactly. It's just fun.
It's so fun. It's like it was a trick shot, basically. I want more.
Sonny Milano was calling
Everybody do more trick shots.
Milano was calling Michigan.
That's awesome.
And then he flipped it over.
Everybody that can do them, do more trick shots.
Mm-hmm.
Do you hear me, Sidney Crosby? No, it was really cool, and it was such a bad take by Tortorella.
Oh,
and
100%.
I immediately went to Twitter and I was like, I went to go see what people were saying on Twitter. And the first thing I saw was like, John Tortorella saying these things is worse for hockey by far
100%.
than what those two guys did. So stupid.
It wasn't good.
Hockey's gonna be held back by these like by these brickheads until they start like retiring and like younger guys start taking over, and it's just like, no, let's just do skill. Let's call penalties and have penalties, and like let's make it more high scoring.
Skill is great. Sure, you can.
Skill is more fun to watch.
Sure, you're not going to get hitting out of the game. You're not going to get fights out of the game.
No, I'm not saying
we're not
should,
asking
but
for that. But skill is fun.
And like the way you promote more skill is like calling more penalties, which they like refuse to do.
We're not getting into this. We're not getting into this.
Why?
Because we did last week. Whatever. All right. Up next is Calgary.
Fine.
Who was 0-2-1 this week?
Thank you, John Tortorella. They were 0-2-1 this week.
Yes.
Oh, they've come back down to earth.
A little bit. I mean, they're still 15-7-6.
Right, but they got buoyed by that really good stretch of games.
Yes.
Yeah.
They lost to San Jose, Carolina. Overtime lost to Carolina and lost to Boston. There's no top player.
Yeah, it's a pretty bad week.
You're not.
Yeah.
You're 1 for 13 on the power play.
Ooh. Yeah, that's not good.
5 for 7 on the penalty kill. You don't get a top player.
That's also not good. You don't get a top player.
You don't get a top player?
Buzzpuck says you don't get a top player.
Well, they didn't have a guy with more than 3 points.
Damn.
Yeah, so, no.
Yeah.
So, yeah. On to Edmonton, who also doesn't get a top player.
Yeah, what happened to Edmonton?
They were 0-3.
Yeah.
I think they might be on a 5-game losing streak.
It's like 5 or 6, yeah.
I meant to look that up, but I didn't.
It's something like 5 or 6 game losing streak.
Minnesota, Boston, and Carolina again.
All losses.
16-10.
I mean, still a good record, but like once you
2 for 12 on the power play.
Wow, that's really bad for them.
You want to know what else is bad? Is 4 for 7 on the penalty kill.
Not quite as bad as 2 for 6, but
there's a lot of bad penalty kills this week.
Oh my god! I just realized there's a really I got another really bad one coming up too.
I got 2 more.
I just saw it like under my hand.
Duncan Keith is on the IR with an upper body, and then we already talked about Mike Smith.
Old man Keith.
Yep. So that's Edmonton.
Well, Edmonton, pray that you get Anton Hudobin and then help.
So Calgary's Alberta's just not good this week.
Did you see that Calgary postponed their next few games, I think, this week?
No, I didn't. I've been driving for the past 7 hours.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I think at least the game tonight and then their other game this week, if not all of their games this week, got postponed, obviously, because of COVID reasons.
Yeah.
And
I didn't realize that. They didn't really have any guys on the COVID list.
I think it's more they're starting to get a little itchy about the whole Omicron thing.
That's fair.
So
I don't.
We'll see what happens with that. But I also saw.
I didn't have any of their players on.
Well, that's great. I hope it stays
IR.
that way.
Or injury.
Their next few games got postponed.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
I didn't know that. Los Angeles is up next.
LA
2-1 this week.
Okay.
A little bit of a bounce back from last week.
Good.
They are 12.
They're doing okay this
12, 10, and 4. Not bad.
Not bad.
Lost to Vancouver. They had the unfortunate spot of being Bruce Boudreau's first game
So sorry. I forgot to
as
silence my
coach.
phone.
So they had to deal with that new coach bounce back.
Oh yeah, for real.
But they
Oh, no, stop.
shut out Dallas.
Sorry, everybody.
Just
My bad.
unprofessional.
I know. I'm sorry.
And then
I'm
beat Minnesota, like we said. Danault had 1 goal and 1 assist, and actually only 2 points was the top amount.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh,
No one really spread the love.
Has Quentin Byfield made his debut yet this year?
No,
Is
he's
he
been
still,
injured.
Is he still injured?
He's been injured.
That's a bummer.
Edler is now on the IR with the lower body,
Yeah, I saw
unfortunately.
that. Yeah.
0 for 9 on the power play. 6 for 9 on the penalty kill.
Nice.
Neither are good. Get yourself together.
Never.
All right. Close by is San Jose. Actually, that's like 5 hours away.
I honestly don't know where San Jose is. I think it's near San Francisco, right?
It's like an hour south of San Francisco.
Okay. Yeah, so it's pretty far
Yeah.
from LA.
Yeah.
Because California is a really big state.
It's huge.
Yeah. Geography with Bert and Clay.
Might even be less than an hour.
Bert
San
is bad
Francisco.
at it. Bert's bad at geography.
Clay thinks geography's fun.
What a weirdo.
Like a nerd.
What a weirdo.
All right, they were 2-1 this week. 15-12-1.
Okay. They're doing
So they're doing
they're doing pretty good.
so much better than
Yeah,
we thought. they'd be.
yeah. We thought they were going to be dog shit.
They again beat Calgary, lost to Minnesota, beat
Mhm.
Dallas.
Pretty good week.
Thomas Hurdle had 5 goals and 1 assist.
That's Tomas Hurdle. I think.
He's German. It makes sense.
Yeah. So he had, 5 goals and 1
5
assist?
goals
That's
and 1
really
assist.
good, yeah. 3 games. Damn.
Balsers is on the IR with the lower body. Kitizov is out 2 months with a lower body.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, I apologize to that guy. I don't know who that is, but
I believe he's a defenseman.
that sucks that you got
Yeah.
hurt. One thing I wanted to mention about San Jose, did you see that Evander Kane is in the AHL currently?
Yeah.
His 21-game suspension is over, so he's doing like conditioning stints and
Yeah.
whatever down in the AHL. I'm certain that
In
San
San
Jose
Jose.
would much rather trade him.
Yeah.
and I don't think he's going to play for the Sharks again.
Some people have been scouting him out.
If I remember correctly, I know Boston and Pittsburgh were there
Yep.
scouting him. Toronto too. And there's 2 other teams I can't remember.
I don't.
I don't remember,
Don't
but
remember.
those 3 were definitely there, and there was 2 other teams there that I can't recall. And it's interesting to me that anybody is there, but I guess not. I guess not really. So like, obviously he clearly has a gambling problem. He has had locker room issues
Mhm.
every place he's been.
Yep.
Excuse me. If I was any of those teams, I was thinking about this today, I would not even talk to San Jose if 50% retained. Immediately.
Yeah.
Because honestly, his contract,
Is not bad.
gambling issues and the bad locker room stuff
Based on his
aside, based on his play, that contract's actually pretty good.
100%.
He's a 2-time 30-goal scorer. He's 30, so that's not super young, but that's not super old either. He could
He's
probably put up a bunch of
Only
goals.
30?
Yeah.
He played for Atlanta.
I know.
Oh man.
He's
been around
Well,
for
he was like
forever.
18 or 19
Exactly,
on Atlanta.
but
So like, I'm not shocked that teams are interested. But again, I would be like, it's 50% retained, and you're not getting anything super
Good,
valuable
yeah.
back. Like, don't you dare ask for like any kind of draft pick in the first 3
look,
rounds,
we've seen
or
from
any top prospect.
we've seen from all the other sports that it doesn't matter. The off the field stuff doesn't matter as long as you're good.
It's true. It's true.
Which is shitty.
Well, to an extent. I think there is a breaking point in every league of like, that guy murdered somebody, like legitimately.
Like Carew, yeah.
Yeah, and like, then you're out of the league.
Yeah, but that's
But
You're in prison.
if you just help cover it up, like Ray Lewis,
yeah.
you can stay in the league.
Where was his shirt? Where was
Ray Lewis when Joey Porter was shot? You know
It's
who's
funny-
really gonna laugh at that?
the funniest thing in the
Is my
world?
mother.
Yes.
When she listens to this. But yeah, I mean, if I was any of those teams, I'd be like, okay, starting bid, you are going to retain 50% and take either a contract that we don't want anymore, or basically nothing.
Oh, 100%.
So, like, I was thinking about it today, and I saw somebody online suggest that Boston just straight up trades DeBrusque for him with
That's
50%
too good.
retain.
That's too good.
That's
for them.
almost too good, but like, I mean, DeBrusque isn't really playing very well for Boston, so
But DeBrusque has that potential. It's
Yeah,
You
but
can-
like
you can get
I think
a better.
Boston could use some more help than DeBrusque is giving, and
Yes.
Kane could give that to them.
I'm thinking you can get someone better than Kane though.
Maybe, but like,
I might be thinking
but
future.
like they could like. If they use DeBrusque to do that now, you could probably still add more later.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if anything materializes out of that. Maybe something does. Maybe a contender is like, all right, we'll take him. But, don't give up too much for him.
All right, so Seattle's up next.
Okay.
I wrote Vancouver before Seattle. That's why I had to flip back.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I think there was another team on that.
There was
that
another
page.
team on
Okay,
there.
gotcha.
But I'm still going alphabetically. They were 0-2-1
We
this
have
week.
integrity on this show.
No, we don't. 9-15-3 is their overall record. So while they did have a good past 2 weeks, now it's
Well, I mean, they dug themselves a pretty horrible hole. I mean,
Well-
0-2-1 too.
well, they had those 2 weeks of good goalie play. It seems like they were turning it around.
Maybe they'll grab Hudobin.
Maybe because Drager's back from the IR and Dackert is back in the AHL.
Mm.
But they got their butts kicked by Pittsburgh and Winnipeg, and then
they
lost in
really
overtime to Columbus.
Growing pains of
Yeah.
an expansion team.
In that Pittsburgh game, Grubauer was 1 for 4.
What?
I think, like save wise,
Really?
they yanked him fast.
Oh my god.
Um,
That's really. I didn't. That game was on too late for me to watch.
or he got a little banged up. I don't remember.
Nah, either way.
But 1 for 7 on the power play.
Not great.
Nope. But 4 for 4 on the penalty kill.
Hey, there you go. We did not take that many penalties either.
Again, no top player.
No,
They-
don't
they
deserve one.
They didn't put up a lot of
Don't
points
deserve
either.
one, yeah.
But someone who did put up a lot of points is their neighbors from the north.
Yeah, who knew that all Vancouver needed was fucking barbecue Bruce?
I mean, look at when Seth Green left.
Seth Green.
Yeah, I heard me.
Travis Green.
I heard me say it.
Is Seth Green like a comedian?
Yes, and voice actor.
What? That's why he was. That's why they were doing so bad.
He's the dude from he's the dude from Robot Chicken.
Yeah, that's right. He has. He's Chris from Family Guy.
Yeah, I know.
That's why they were doing so bad. Why did you guys have Seth Green in there?
I know. He was trying his hardest, but he was just making
He's
doing
trying.
voices.
He's trying a career turn.
They went 4-0 this week.
Damn.
All it took
Good
was
for
a
them.
coach change.
See, that's the thing. Is like you look at Vancouver's roster, and I mean it's not like stellar, but they should be better than they're playing.
They had the historically worst penalty kill.
Yeah, it was like 60% or something.
64.
Yeah.
Well, they went 8 for 10 on the penalty kill this week. So all it took was some actual
Bring in
coaching.
Bruce.
Yep.
Brucey.
So the 4-0 this week. They are now 12-15-1. So that
See, they're like
made it
not
so
even
better.
really. I mean,
so much better.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. Now they're only 4 games under 500,
Mhm.
and that's not even that far in the NHL, honestly.
No, 3 for 11 on the power play. I got a bunch of standout players.
Good.
Just because Brock Besser had.
They must have hated their coach. You think they hated Travis Green?
Well,
And that was part of the problem.
look at the Pittsburgh game. Travis Green left.
Yeah.
None of the players followed him.
Yeah, weird.
Right?
Weird how that worked out.
They might have been at one point playing to get him fired.
Could have been. I mean, we're not throwing any accusations around, but they might have just hated Travis Green.
Yeah.
It happens sometimes.
Well, also, they might have just not. What he was doing probably just wasn't instilling confidence.
Some of the players, too. I mean, some of those guys like JT Green and,
JT Miller.
yes, I'm sorry, JT Miller. We said Green so many times.
So
JT Miller and, like,
Horvat.
Horvat and, like, Ekman Larson. They've been around long enough to be like, I don't think what you're telling us to do is correct.
Right. Brock Besser had 3 goals and an assist.
Besser.
JT Miller had 1 goal, 4 assists,
Nice.
also 4 block shots, and 10 hits. Which again, from a
That's a
winger
thing, yeah,
is.
I mean, well, that's like JT Miller's thing. It's like
I know,
he's kind of a big rough and tumble guy. But no, those are
great sets.
Those are great.
But the goalie, Thatcher
Demko.
He was 4-0 this week.
Oh, he played all 4 games.
He played all 4 games.
For him.
1 shutout with saving 128 out of 133 shots, which is good for a .962 save percentage.
He only gave up 5 goals in 4 games.
Yes. With a 1.175 goals against average.
I think maybe Thatcher Demko hated Travis Green.
He totally hated Travis Green because his defense in front of him was bad.
Yeah.
And now it's not.
Weird.
Right?
Well, it's one of those things that, like, a new set of coaching eyes can come in and be like, what are you guys doing?
Well, Quinn Hughes was immediately put on the penalty kill, which he's just like, this is awesome. This is so much trust. This is great.
Oh, yeah. I probably instilled confidence. Like,
100%.
You could do it. Go do it.
Because he hates just being a offensive defenseman.
Yeah.
He's just like, I can be better than that.
I can be everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He can be an Adam Fox.
Maybe. He was, he did have a really good year.
Mm-hmm.
His rookie year. He was up for the Calder.
I will say, 2 of the 4 wins were shootout wins. It doesn't matter at the end of the day.
It does, though. That's one of the tiebreakers at the end of the year is it's a
regulars
ROW.
Mm-hmm.
It's regulation and overtime wins, and that's wins that don't count shootout wins.
Right.
So I mean, technically it counts, but that's like it's just one of the tiebreakers.
It's so far down.
Yeah, as long as you win, you're probably fine.
So they did get shootout wins against Boston and Winnipeg, but they beat the Kings and Carolina outright.
They beat Carolina outright. That's something.
They only allowed 1 goal against Carolina.
That's something.
So it was a very good week.
Yeah, go Vancouver.
For Vancouver. Again, like we've talked about it a bunch of times, we want to see them succeed.
Yeah, I always want to see like teams that are like very much maligned, like over historically maligned teams do well. Yeah. I want to see Vancouver win a cup. I would love for Buffalo to be good at some point.
So nice.
Yeah.
All right. Vegas.
Vegas.
They were 2-1 this week.
Okay.
Bringing them to 16-11.
Right.
So 1 game behind Vancouver, Edmonton. Yeah, 1 game behind.
Oh yeah,
Edmonton.
wow, they're right up there.
So Edmonton just has 1 game in hand. But they beat Dallas. Philadelphia lost to Philadelphia and Minnesota.
Excuse me.
Max Pacioretty, 4 goals, 3 assists. Mark Stone's back.
They're both back now. They just gotta wait for Eichel.
Played all week and got 3 goals and 4 assists.
Eichel's not practicing, but he is skating.
He's cleared for everything but contact.
That'll be huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. They were 3 for 13 on the power play.
It's alright.
Unfortunately, what's not alright is they're 6 for 12 on a penalty kill.
Baby. That's still not as bad as 2 for 6.
0 for 3 with their win against Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
1 for 3 with their loss against Philadelphia. And then they let in 1 against Minnesota. But still, 6 for 12.
It's alright. I have 1 that beats that.
I have 1 that beats that too.
Oh my god.
It's the same.
It's the dueling bad penalty kills.
It's basically kind of the same as the 2 for 6. Oof. That's not.
Yeah.
No bueno. All right, but that's the Pacific.
That's Pacific. All the ups and downs. Let's take a jaunt over to the Eastern Conference.
Oh.
And we'll talk about the Metro Division. Carolina, 3-1 this week. 19-7-1 overall. Still doing very well.
Mm-hmm.
They've come back down to earth a little bit, but not too much.
Not really.
3 for 9 on the power play this week. Very good. 12 for 13 on the penalty kill. Also very good. They had 2 top players this week. Sebastian Aho had 5 goals and 2 assists.
He's so good.
Craig Anderson, 3-0 this week. 130 goals against. 941 save percentage. He didn't play the game that they lost to Vancouver.
It's not
so,
him.
like Clay said, they lost to Vancouver, but they did beat Winnipeg, Calgary, and Edmonton. They beat all the Western Canada teams. Well, actually, no, technically they lost to Vancouver, but they beat most of the Western Canada teams. And no major injuries for Carolina either. They still have a couple guys on the COVID list, but they seem to be doing fine.
Is it Pesce?
Yeah, Brett Pesce and Anthony D'Angelo are both.
So they're not on the COVID list anymore.
Oh, were they taken off?
They just can't go to Canada because they tested positive within 14 days.
Got it.
So once
so
they're back,
once they're back, I'm sure both of those guys will be back
go.
on the lineup. Moving on to Columbus, who's a paltry 1-1-1 this week. Boring.
I think it's actually fun when you go 1-1-1.
14-11-1 overall. So Columbus has definitely come back down to where maybe we thought they were going to be. Not like third in the division anymore. 1 for 6 on the power play. 1 for 5 on the penalty kill.
Be better.
Whoo, that's a bad penalty kill. That's a bad one this week.
It's like a Vancouver penalty kill.
That was mostly. Now they only took 5 penalties in 3 games.
That's good,
but they gave up 4 power play goals in those games. They did lose to Toronto, where they let up 2 power play goals. Lost to Anaheim in a shootout and beat Seattle in overtime.
Yeah.
So, and not a horrible week outside of the penalty kill for Columbus. Both Bjorkstrand and Domi, both of them, had 3 goals and an assist this week.
Good for them.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Adam Boquist is on the IR with an upper body injury. What's up?
Sheehan and Yangard are on the COVID list for Seattle.
Oh.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I forgot that.
Well wishes to them.
Yes.
Go get your boosters, folks. I got mine, and I felt crappy the next day.
I felt
fine now. I feel fine now.
I felt so bad on
I
Thanksgiving.
boosted my 5G.
I'm getting the best reception right now.
Okay, moving on to New Jersey, who are 1-2-1 this week. 10-11-5 overall. They're not the worst team in the Metro,
Nope.
but we thought they were going to be one of the worst teams. I think they're the 2nd worst team in the Metro right now. So
yeah, it's about right.
Yeah, that's where we thought that they were going to be. Luckily, they got Jack Hughes back this week, so that'll be a boon to their lineup. They did lose in a shootout to Ottawa. They shut out Philly, lost to Nashville, and lost to the Islanders.
Bum, bum, bum.
1 for 10. 1 for 10 on the power play, 5 for 7 on the penalty kill. Both not great.
Nope.
Just an overall not great week for New Jersey. However, Mackenzie Blackwood, he went 1-1-1 this week, but he had a 166 goals against and a 933 save percentage. So he had a pretty good week. Yeah. Even though he did technically lose 2 games. But he played all right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Jonathan Bernier was placed on the IR for hip injury. And as their GM stated, they fear that it might be a career ending.
Who got the hip injury?
Jonathan Bernier, their goalie.
That's not good.
They fear that it might be a career-ending injury, unfortunately.
That's not good.
That sucks that there is a potential career-ending injury
already,
and a definite career-ending injury. Well, I mean,
Bishop's
was a long-term injury, but still,
even Mike Smith. So not a good week for goalies.
Yeah, not a good week for injuries with goalies. Also, Nick Heuschier and Ryan Graves are both on the COVID list for New Jersey.
Yep.
Let's pop these back. Bad boys open. Yeah. So that's That's it for the Devils. Let's move on to the Islanders, who had a much better week this week than they have. I don't know, the entire season. Went 2-1 this week.
They went 2-1. I only knew about the 1.
They went 2-1 this week. They beat Ottawa. They lost to Nashville, and then they beat New Jersey. That Ottawa game was the Islanders' first win in 12 games.
Yep.
So their long nightmare is over for now.
And their first win at home
was against the Devils. Yeah.
Yeah. In
the entire season.
Well, I meant since last year.
Yeah.
Because again,
their first win in their new arena at Nassau. Is it Nassau?
No, it's
What is it
Belmont.
now? Oh, that's right, Belmont. So they were 2 for 6 on the power play, 8 for 9 on the penalty kill. Their overall record is 7, 11, and 5. Not great.
No.
It's actually not as bad as it could be, especially with a 12-game losing streak. They still have 7 wins.
They can
earlier
turn
in the
that
season.
around.
Yeah. They can get it there. Hello, Ginger. I think it's Oliver Wallstrom had a goal and 5 assists this week.
Oh, good.
And no major injuries to speak of for the Islanders, thankfully. So, maybe the Islanders are starting to turn it around a bit, but they certainly dug themselves a hefty hole to dig out of.
They have a mountain to climb if they want to get
They
into the
got
playoffs.
a well of a hole to get out of. Moving on to the other New York team, the Rangers went 2-2 this week.
It's a bad week for them.
Yeah, that's a bad week for them this season. Their overall record is 18-6-3. They were 4 for 11 on the power play. That's pretty good. 11 for 12 on the penalty kill. Also pretty good. But, unfortunately, they lost 2 games this week.
Mm-hmm.
They did beat Chicago. Pretty good. They lost to Colorado, like I mentioned before.
Yep.
They beat Buffalo 2-1. There was a little bit of a
I was
controversy
going to bring that up,
in that game. We can talk about it just 1 second, and then they got shut out by Nashville. Their top player was Georgiev, who was 2-1 this week with a 135 goals against average, 954 save percentage. So it's nice that Georgiev is picking up some of the slack since Shesterkin's on the IR currently. Yep. But you want to talk about the Buffalo game?
So the Buffalo game, again, it was 2-1.
Yeah.
Rangers over Buffalo. The Sabres did actually have a goal called back due to offsides.
Yeah.
Late in the game?
Yeah. I don't remember exactly when in the game, but it would have tied the game.
It would have tied the game. So
Obviously.
Either way, the NHL reached out to Buffalo and said that
oopsie, that was wrong.
Offside call was incorrect.
Yeah. And so I mean, who knows? Buffalo may have still lost that game. It could have changed the dynamic of it.
It also could have gone to overtime.
True, and they could have gotten a point out of it.
So,
yeah, that sucks. I mean, props to the NHL for being like, that one, we were wrong. That was a wrong call.
100%.
So, because usually leagues don't do that.
But it just, you should probably have, how they default to Toronto?
Yeah.
Add another ref there watching.
Yeah, usually they get it right because sometimes they'll watch those replays for like a really long period of time. I guess not usually, but like most of the time they get it right technically. But
if you add a 4th video official, you can cut back on mistakes.
Well, it's the same argument in the NFL too. It's like add a sky judge, that'll help a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But. Yeah, it sucks, but unfortunately...
The NFL has more problems with refs than the NHL does.
Yeah, as much as we complain about the refs in the NHL, the ones in the NFL are just garbage tier referees, but this is not a football podcast, so... Tell us if you want a football podcast.
I don't have the patience.
Me neither. Boy, I would just scream about the Steelers. Anyway, let's move on.
I would scream about the refs.
Well, yeah, I would scream about the refs, too. I scream mostly about the Steelers. Anyway, moving on to Philadelphia, who also went 2-2 this week. Lost to Colorado, got shut out by New Jersey, but did beat Vegas and Arizona. So that Vegas victory ended Philadelphia's 10-game losing streak.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, they are 10-12-4. So they're still in a position where they can turn it around if they can,
figure it
out. And they've won a couple games in a row now, so if they can get on a little bit of a hot streak, then I think Philadelphia still has a puncher's chance of making the playoffs, but there's still plenty of games left to play. What are we at?
We're at 25.
25, 26, somewhere between 25 and 30 games for everybody. So, 50-plus games to play. That's plenty of time to turn it around, and Philly's not that far below 500 currently. They were 4 for 11 on the power play.
That's really good.
That's pretty good. 11 for 16 on the penalty kill. Not as good. Travis Konechny had 5 assists this week.
Good for him.
Good week for him. One cute thing I saw in the Arizona game, Shane Gostisbehere
Yep. All right. I
is
saw
on
that. Yeah.
Arizona now, and before this season, Gostisbehere played his entire career on Philadelphia up to that point. And Travis Konechny at one point, Gostisbehere had the puck behind his own net and was like waiting for a play to develop. And sometimes defensemen like stand behind the net and wait for stuff to happen in front of them. And Konechny was playing the forecheck.
Yep.
And skated in front of the net and goes, "Hi, Shane." And like you could see in the video, Gostisbehere got this big stupid grin on his face. It was just a very cute, funny interaction between friends on the ice. So that's nice. And no major injuries for Philly this week.
That's good too.
Yeah, always good to hear. Moving on to Pittsburgh, 3-0 this week. They beat Seattle, they beat Washington, and they beat Anaheim. They shut out Anaheim. 14-8-5 overall. 0 for 2 on the power play. Only 2
You
power
only
plays.
got 2 power plays?
Only 2 power plays in 3 games. Pretty bad.
Yeah.
5 for 5 on the penalty kill. Unfortunately, this week Jake Gensel got injured in in the Seattle game. He is week to week with an upper body injury. He blocked a shot, and that's what happened. And actually, he's already skating.
Okay.
So it's not a super serious injury, but I don't think they want to like force him back.
Yeah, that's fine.
But
you got plenty of scoring up.
But both him and Rust are skating. Malkin is practicing with the team.
Yep.
So Malkin is getting fairly close to returning to the lineup, which will be a big boost for the Penguins. As for their top player, I didn't really give it to a player. I gave it to their penalty kill. Their penalty kill is 92.4% on the season, which is first in the league, and they have killed off 30 straight penalties.
That's very good.
Yeah. That's really good for a team that's like not super known for playing defense.
Yeah.
But this year they are. And you know, I would actually give a lot of credit to the signings they did in the offseason. Brian Boyle, who hasn't played every game for the Penguins, but he has been dynamite on the penalty kill.
Sorry, I can't think of that name without thinking of Always Sunny.
Brian Boyle?
Yeah.
Oh, the McBoyles.
Yep.
The McBoyles. Brian McBoyle.
Yep.
And Brock McGinn have been very good on the penalty kill for the Penguins. So, great so far this season.
I'm mad at Brock McGinn.
Why? Oh, I know why.
Get to it.
I know why. Let's talk about Washington.
I'll
talk about it. Okay. Calm down.
I know.
Washington went 2-1 this week. Still a pretty good week. They lost to Anaheim in a shootout. Like I mentioned, lost to Pittsburgh. And beat Buffalo in a shootout. 2 shootout wins this week. 0 for 6 on the power play. Only 3 for 3 on the penalty kill. Only 3 penalties taken. Ovi had 5 assists this week as their top player. And unfortunately, Tom Wilson is out with an upper body injury. I know he got injured against Pittsburgh, but I don't know what happened.
I didn't see.
See what happened. He just didn't come out for the third period, and that's all. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I watched, but I was doing something else at the same time. And at some point, when the third period started, they were just like, "Yeah, Tom Wilson's not coming back," and I was like, "I don't even know what happened."
Faveri's not like day to day.
I didn't see anything about
Really?
Faveri on the injury report. So there was kind of a questionable hit in the Penguins Capitals game. Faveri, is that how you say his name? Is a young defenseman.
Yep.
I mean, to me, and apparently according to the league too, it was just kind of an unfortunate hit.
It was completely.
I don't think there was no malice behind it. But Brock McGinn did catch Faveri. It looked like in maybe the jaw area with his shoulder.
Yeah.
No malice in the hit by McGinn. It just kind of was an unfortunate hit.
But it did TKO.
Yeah, Faveri got knocked out of the game.
Yeah.
He's not on the injury list, so hopefully maybe he's okay then. I don't know that if he played against Buffalo, but I guess I can look that up if you would really like me to. But so that was kind of a questionable hit. That's what Clay was talking about when he said he was mad at Brock McGinn.
Yeah.
But Faveri, I guess, is okay. So that's good.
Yeah, that is good.
Again, I don't know what happened with Tom Wilson.
I don't.
Maybe he blocked a shot or something, or tweaked something. Sometimes you just don't see what happened, or something happens and you're like, that seemed like totally enough. That's what happened with Malkin.
Yeah,
he got hit. He got knocked down, and it didn't look that bad. And then he was out for months.
Kucherov tearing his groin looked innocuous.
Yeah, and sometimes it doesn't look that bad, and it's just like, then the guy's out for several weeks. So, I mean, I don't love Tom Wilson, but I don't want anybody to be hurt.
The problem I have with just because it wasn't.
Faveri did play against Buffalo.
Oh, good.
So he's
That's
fine.
actually good.
Yeah.
Because it hit him right in the butt.
Yeah.
And he was knocked out. But it's one of those things where Wilson got 20 games for a hit McGinn gave him. He deserved.
Wilson's hit was on purpose.
He does have the reputation to
Yeah.
deserve that 20
Yeah,
games.
yeah.
I'm just saying, a fine.
I wouldn't have argued with a fine. I get it.
I'm not asking for a massive
Well,
suspension.
I'm also of the idea that if you hit a guy in the head, on purpose or not, you should be suspended for at least a game.
Yeah.
Look, it happens sometimes. You don't mean to do it, but they need to set a precedent. Don't hit guys in the head.
That's my
Don't
thing.
go up high.
That's my thing.
No. But they're not going to do that. So
that's annoying.
let me run the league.
It's annoying because he could have hit the way Faveri was. He could have hit him in the shoulder.
Again, I don't think McGinn didn't mean to do that.
He missed.
Yeah.
Straight up.
I think he was trying to hit him in the shoulder or chest, and Faveri maybe was just bent down farther than he thought, and he just caught him or whatever.
Exactly. Looking at that hit, he didn't mean to hit him up top. No. But when his intent ever mattered in a penalty.
I agree with you. There should be some precedent set. You hit a guy in the head, you're fined. Or you're suspended for a game or something.
100%.
Because then it'll make guys think twice about even hitting up in the shoulder area, because that's where most of the time guys are trying to hit in the shoulders and they get the head.
The problem is with talking about that is you look at the Trouba hits with both whatever his name is, Kyra and McKinnon, because he did it back to back games.
That's true. Yeah.
Both of those guys had their heads down. If they had their head up, it would have been straight into the chest. That's the problem. They had their heads down.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know a good way to go about it.
Because the game is so fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, those Trouba hits
they're bad.
So nice.
Yeah.
They're so good. Because again, they're such. He didn't even There's no thing of charging or anything like that. He's just standing there, and it's oh, your head's down. Let me hit you.
Blink. Yeah. So,
keep your head up.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, Connor Faveri. Is it Connor Faveri?
I don't believe it is.
I don't know
why. Faveri.
I don't know why I said Connor. Faveri, thankfully, is fine.
Oh, that's great to hear.
So that's good to hear. You want to You want to tell me about the Atlantic?
I'll tell you about the Atlantic.
Good. Tell me.
First up is Boston.
Boston baked beans.
They were 2-1.
Start a petition to force them to change their name.
They might have moved up in the division. They're still either right outside of a playoff spot, or
I think they're right outside of the playoff spot.
Fourth place. 14-8-2.
Okay.
So they're close.
Oh, yeah.
They're close. Again, lost to Vancouver, beat Edmonton and Calgary. So.
Okay.
They were 2 for 9 on the power play.
That's okay. Yeah.
10 for 14 on the penalty kill.
That's less okay.
Patrice Bergeron is their top player with 1 goal and 3 assists.
Mm-hmm.
Nosek is out with an illness. That's
non-COVID.
Non-COVID.
Yeah.
And Zabril is out for 2 weeks with a leg injury.
Yeah. Well,
I do want to say Mike Milbury, who is a former Boston coach.
What did Mike Milbury say?
Suggested that...
Mike Milbury, by the way, a guy who beat a dude with his own shoe.
Yep. Suggested that Boston should move on from Patrice Bergeron.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. What a stupid
that they would
Stupid.
probably have a hard time trading Marchand,
Okay, first
which
of all,
they should do.
no, they won't. First of all, they should not do either one of those things.
Oh, that's why I'm bringing this up, because it's the dumbest thing in the world to say.
And also, he's totally wrong that they would have a hard time trading Brad Marchand.
This is the guy who, as a GM, ran the Islanders into the ground.
He traded Zdeno Chara, who is probably
He's
a Hall of Famer, and a bunch of other stuff
for peanuts
for Alexei Yashin.
Yeah.
Who got to the Islanders and didn't do anything.
He ran the Islanders into the ground.
Yeah, he did
very
a really bad job. He was the guy, I believe, that took Roberto Luongo in the draft very high in the first round, and then the next year took Rick DiPietro very high in the draft too, and then traded Luongo to Florida.
Yep.
And
or
then
Vancouver.
No, he traded him. He played for both.
Oh, okay.
I believe he played for Florida first, then Vancouver, then Florida again.
Florida. Okay.
And did Lugano. And
Shut
but and then Rick DiPietro basically has the Bobby Bonilla contract.
Yeah.
And it's so funny that it's two New York teams. They signed DiPietro to some insane contract that was like 14 years long or something. And then he had some horrible injury problems.
Yep.
And then they used a compliance buyout on him, like a bunch of buttholes. Poor Rick DiPietro. Now he's on the telecast with John Tortorella.
Yeah. No. One of the best things about
Mike Milbury doesn't know anything about
NBC
running a hockey team. Mm-hmm.
Not having the
As we don't have to listen to Mike Milbury anymore.
Is they're no longer trying to make him seem legitimate?
He's not.
He's
He
not.
doesn't know what he's talking about.
I just want to see how long
And thank
was
God.
GM for.
It was only a few years, and he really messed him up. Thank God we don't have to listen to what's his name, Keith something.
Roenick or
Keith something and Jeremy Roenick too.
no, Jeremy Roenick.
And Jeremy Roenick got famously fired from NBC for making real gross comments to a lady coworker or something.
Yep.
And then Keith, what's his last name? That's gonna bug me. Anyway, Keith was, he was on there for a while. He's not as bad as Milbury, but he's another one of those guys that's just I think they should just allow them to hit each other in the heads and fight all the time. I'm an old hockey player. I like when they used to fight all the time. You still looking stuff up?
Yeah, but
Let's move
I'm not going to find what I need.
Let's move on.
He was the GM
Mike Milbury doesn't know what he's talking about.
He was the GM for too long and really ruined the Islanders.
It wasn't any more than 5 years, I don't think. But he really messed them up for a while.
All right, so Buffalo's next.
Oh, Buffalo.
I was just there. I could have gone to the game where they lost to Washington in a shootout.
You should have.
I didn't know they were playing.
Oh.
I didn't look ahead of time.
Stupid.
They were actually dealing with a massive windstorm.
Oh, really?
That week.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they knew you were coming.
Yeah.
They were like, we're going to have crappy weather while you're here.
So they were 0-2-1.
Bad.
Very bad. They're 8-15-4.
Very bad.
The Washington
Ooh,
game.
they're getting close to Arizona now. They're only a few games better than Arizona.
Yeah, but there's another team in between the two.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Straight up losses to Anaheim and the Rangers, like we talked about, and the shootout loss to Washington again, like we talked about.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Luukkonen is the goalie.
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
Again, great name.
Sick name. He's a really young goalie, I think. So
their two starters are injured.
Yeah, so it's unfortunate that they have to turn to him to play.
Exactly.
So that's a good point. They might be the team that grabs Khudobin.
Mm-hmm. They were 0 for 6 on the power play.
Yeah.
5 for 6 on the penalty kill.
Oh, all right,
good for them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Casey Middlestat, which is, I believe, he's in a contract year, is on the IR with an upper body injury, and it doesn't look good.
That sucks.
And then PK's brother.
Malcolm Subban.
Malcolm Subban. I knew it was with
Yeah.
an M. I was going to say Mark. It's just like, that's not right.
Yeah, pretty close.
Malcolm Subban is also on the IR with a lower body injury.
They just traded for him.
I know. And that's why Luukkonen's playing.
They traded for him last week.
They're having
Oh, bae.
like this.
Remember when Vegas had all of those issues
Mhm.
for injuries? That's what it reminds me
Luukkonen
of.
is like their fourth string goalie.
So who are their goalies supposed to be? Anderson, Tokarski,
Tokarski.
and Subban, and now
Yes.
I bet they grab Udoka,
You have
and then
to.
he'll get hurt too.
You have to. I hope not.
I hope not either.
Um,
but, like just the way things are going.
So they don't get a top player. Nah. Who also I am going to shout out one player for Detroit, even though they don't deserve it, because they went 0 for 3 this week.
Bad week for Detroit.
13, 12, and 3.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
worse than I thought.
Well, because they're
coming back down to earth a bit.
100%. They lost in Nashville, St. Louis, and Colorado. Like you
They
run
lost
it.
to 3 pretty good teams.
You run
though,
into
yeah.
some buzzsaws.
You run into some tough parts of the schedule.
Greece got chased twice. Going
Go Grease Lightning, go.
going 5 for 7.
It's
And
Bryce.
I know he's German again. It doesn't matter. And then 4 for 7.
It doesn't matter. He was terrible this week.
Um,
We should start doing that. We should start when guys have really bad weeks, just
Like-
pronounce their names wrong.
like he was chased in like the first period for both of those games.
Really?
Yeah.
Oof.
Then like half,
Nice. You're better than that, buddy.
halfway, exactly
You're better than that.
halfway through the first period for both of them.
I was
5 for 7 in like the first 10 minutes,
yeah, I probably would have pulled him too.
and then 4 for 7 in like the same amount of
I
time.
absolutely would have pulled him. Who's their other goalie?
Nedeljkovic.
Oh, that's right.
Again, who did all right, but you know.
You can't. It's hard to make up for that performance.
2 for 7 on the power play.
It's not terrible.
7 for 8 on the penalty kill. So that's
That
good.
sucks. Neither one of those are bad.
No,
Yeah.
not at all. I wanted to shout out Robbie Fabry for those 3 goals.
I forgot he was on Detroit.
Well, that's why I wanted to shout him
Yeah.
out, because like it's mainly been Dylan Larkin.
Right.
For
Yeah.
being
Yeah, that's
their
true.
top
He's
player.
like scoring Larkin scoring all of the goals.
So the fact that it's someone else, I want
Yeah. Good for him.
to shout that out.
Good for him.
Mark Stahl has COVID, and
that sucks.
Lindstrom is on the IR with the lower body.
Oh, Nick Lindstrom just came out of retirement to get injured.
Yep. I mean, another Lindstrom on Detroit.
I know I made that joke before.
Not as good as Lindstrom.
No, he's like a young Lindstrom.
All right, so next up is...
Oh, you know what's funny? Along those same lines, the Rangers have a defenseman whose name is Lundqvist. It's Niels Lundqvist. They're not related.
No,
I
of course
don't
not.
think.
No. You
It's just
always,
funny.
You always
It's
have
just
to have a
funny.
Lundqvist
Yeah.
on New York now.
It's just funny because it's 2 teams with 2 guys that are like, well, Lindstrom I believe is already in the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Lundqvist will probably be in the Hall of
Yes,
Fame.
he will.
It's just funny that they have 2
I mean,
other guys that
The
are
fact
named
that
out as well.
they were even in the Stanley Cup Finals against LA was...
It's really hard for goalies to get into the Hall of Fame though, like weirdly hard.
silly.
It's stupid. It doesn't make sense.
He dragged New York kicking and screaming to the finals.
No, I think he'll make it. I think he deserves to make it, but like Curtis Joseph isn't in the Hall of Fame, and he won an MVP.
Wow.
That's almost impossible for a
Yeah.
goalie to do. So like, well, the only other ones I can think of is I know Carey Price has an MVP. He'll probably go in the Hall of Fame too.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to say probably Dominik Hasek has
I was going to say
an
Hasek.
MVP. Maybe Waugh or Brodeur has one too, but I don't think so. Anyway, stupid. Let more goalies in the Hall of Fame.
They're
There's
important.
so many that
They're
deserve it.
important.
Yeah.
Florida is also important.
Florida.
They are 1-1-1 this week.
Move to Quebec City.
Move them closer to Miami. Where
they
they
might eventually.
say
Especially
they
if they're
from.
playing as well as they've been playing. I mean,
18, 5, and 4.
damn. You know what's crazy is it them that has the most points in the league?
I gotta do a lot of math.
I don't. Never mind. But like, I'm going back to Anaheim for a 2nd.
Mhm.
Anaheim is second in the Western Conference overall. I saw that in the standings earlier today when I was finishing up my notes.
But like, they have a lot of young guys who are now hitting.
They're really hitting their stride,
Yes,
like
because
all at the same time, basically.
Troy Terry, people were like
They're calling him a bust.
They were calling him
Yeah.
a bust. Sonny Milano got traded away from Buffalo.
Buffalo, and I think he was on Columbus too.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
he's gone through a couple of teams already. Like,
Yeah.
and Trevor Zegras is just killing it. Like, they have a bunch of young guys just doing great.
We're getting it.
So yeah, it's great.
So Florida. Yeah.
Like we said, St. Louis lost in overtime.
Right.
Beat Arizona, lost to Colorado. Carter Verhaeghe.
Wow, Jenny. That was so loud.
Carter Verhaeghe had 4 assists. Barkov is back on the IR.
Oh, that sucks.
And Anthony Duclair is not on the IR, but he's still out indefinitely.
Yeah.
2 for 13 on the power play,
Ugh.
and then 9 for 12 on the penalty kill.
I mean, they're still keeping afloat with Barkov out, so
Exactly.
that's all you can really ask for.
Someone who's not keeping afloat is Montreal.
Montreal's so bad.
Is 0 for 3 this week. 6-20-3.
Oh, they are
Yes.
They are another team that has 20 losses.
Tampa lost to Tampa Bay, Chicago, and St. Louis. 0 for 3 on the power play. I'm not gonna
I mean,
knock them for
they
that.
only had 3 power.
They only had 3 power plays. 5 for 8 on the penalty kill. Not great.
No,
Tyler Foley is out for a while with a hand injury. Like, he had surgery.
that blows.
Petrie is out, and Edmondson is still out. Like, everything's getting extended. So, no best player for them.
Not with an 0-3 week and
No.
a 20 loss team.
Giving up 7 goals in 3 games. Ottawa is next up with 2-1
Ottawa.
this week. Had a good week.
Yeah, 2-1.
8-16-1.
No, that's not good, but 2-1's good.
Like we said, the Islanders lost to the Islanders, shootout win against New Jersey, and they kicked the tar out of Tampa Bay.
Oh,
They shut Tampa Bay out.
What? That's crazy.
Brady Tkachuk got his first career hat trick.
Oh, good for him. Good for Brady.
Drake,
All he needed was that bite. Now
Yeah.
he's full of
he's a
full of hate.
superhero.
Now he's full of hate and he'll score.
Drake Batherson had 1 goal and 5 assists.
That's cool.
They were 3 for 10 on the power play.
That's one of
which
my
is good.
favorite young guy names in the league is Drake Batherson.
And he's good.
Yeah, he's a good player too.
And 7 for 7 on the penalty kill. That's what you want.
Good. Yeah, good week for Ottawa.
Speaking of Tampa Bay, 2-1.
DBO.
Beating Montreal and Toronto.
Toronto's doing pretty good too.
17-6-4.
Good.
Uh,
Wow.
Stan-
They've done very well.
El-
Stamkos?
Elliott was their best. Sorry, Elliott was their goalie against the Ottawa game.
Oh, well.
He actually kept Ottawa. He actually kept Tampa Bay,
Oh, really?
Close.
It kept it better.
which is
When you tell me Elliott was playing, I'm like, oh, he did really bad.
no, he played great. He was actually. He might have been one of the stars.
Oh, man. The vet min is the only reason that Brian Elliott has a
100%.
job in this league.
Tampa Bay was 1 for 11 on the power play
Interesting.
and 3 for 7 on the penalty kill.
Ooh, that's bad. Ooh, baby.
That's the one.
There's so many bad penalty kills
That's
this week.
that's the one that competes with the 2
1
and
for
6.
5,
Yeah.
2 and 6, 3 for 7. What? There was another one that was like 10 for 18 or something.
Stamkos is their player.
Mhm.
1 goal, 4 assists, and Cernak is now hurt with an upper body injury.
No, not Chernak or
I
Cernak, however you say his name.
Whatever. Last up is Toronto, who is also 2
They're
and
having
1.
a hell of a season.
Also 2-1, beating Columbus and Chicago, who they should.
They should be
Losing to Tampa Bay.
That's kind of a toss-up.
It's a toss-up,
Yeah.
but 19-8-2.
It's really good.
Uh,
Toronto's having a great season so far.
6 for 8 on the penalty kill.
Oh, the penalty kill?
On the penalty kill, 6 for 8.
Oh.
But they're also 6 for 8 on the power play.
Boy, Christ. That is, that's scary.
That's terrifying.
I mean, 6 for 8 on the penalty kill isn't super great, but it's not terrible.
6 for 8.
6 for 8 on the power play, that's terrifying.
100%.
Yeah.
Jason Spezza we mentioned last week, is out for 6 games for that knee to the head.
They're appealing it though. Did you see that?
No.
Like the NHLPA is appealing it. I'm like, why? Just let. He's not even that important of a player.
The fact that they're appealing it, they should add more.
They should be like, yeah, we looked at the appeal. Now he's up for 10 games.
Make it 8. Like,
well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they're appealing it because it's like
he meant to crush him. He need him in the head.
He need him in the head. Either way, he was gonna like hit him pretty hard.
He was gonna hit him.
He got the worst part of it. So
yeah. The fact that they appealed it, suspend him more.
That would be pretty funny.
Both Nylander and Matthews had 3 goals and 3 assists. Both of them.
Good for Nylander. He's maybe knock off some of that criticism.
He's been killing it this year.
Good.
Sandin, lower body injury. We know what happened there.
Yeah.
Dermont is out with a shoulder injury. And Mitch Marner is on the IR now.
That sucks. That might be a blow going forward.
It went from a day-to-day to a week-to-week to now to the IR. So how bad is it? It's his shoulder. It was supposed to be not a big deal.
The shoulder's one of those big joints in your body that can really affect you. Well, quick recovery too. And Mitch Marner.
Hopefully.
So
that's everything.
Thankfully this week, as you heard her doing stuff in the background while Clay was talking. Jenny's here this week.
Getting cheesecake.
Jenny's here this week to give her opinions on mascots. So we'll take a quick pause, and then we'll come back with Jenny. And we're back with Jenny.
Ooh.
How was your cheesecake?
It was great.
Yeah? Okay, great. I'm glad to hear it. So this week, Jenny, we're going to show you the Atlantic Division.
Oh.
No, I didn't know it was going to show you a preview. The Atlantic Division mascots, and we're gonna start with a banger.
There've been multiple lines so far.
This is Sparty.
Why is he a lion?
I don't know. This is the Ottawa Senators mascot, who is a really he looks like a meth lion.
Yeah.
Like he's like real terrible.
He looks like our old coworkers. Hair is basically kept the same way. Yeah.
Our friend whose hair looks like mine. Because that's rude.
Meth lion, Sparty, the
teeth really do it for me.
The
teeth
are like all
nubs.
messed up.
The 4 meth teeth.
He's like, hey, you guys, what's up?
Yeah.
So terrible.
He would fit in really well on Tiger King.
Yeah, he kind of, if you put a bandana and a terrible goatee on him, he would look like Joe Exotic. Alright, moving on from Sparty, grade A mascot. We got,
I don't remember his name.
Another Build-A-Bear.
Fuck. Carlton the bear from the Toronto Maple Leafs. He is a polar bear, clearly.
I've literally seen that at Build-A-Bear. I know I've said this before.
You're gonna say it
but
again?
I'm not wrong.
No, I mean, he's a pretty generic, just white bear.
You said that.
I believe I did see that he got his name from the old stadium.
What'd you say it was, Clarence?
Carlton.
Carlton.
Same thing.
The old arena that Toronto used to have was on Carlton Road or Street or whatever, so they named him Carlton. Now they're not there anymore, but they kept the bear. And then a few years ago, they were like, he's going to retire. And then
where do you think he looks out of? Because I'm not seeing a hole to look out of. That's a tiny spot to look out of.
Normally when you have
you have to be
maybe the nose.
Looking like...
Maybe the nose.
Normally when you're in a mascot suit, you have a guide.
They always have cheerleaders with them to guide them around.
Yeah, you have someone to guide you around. The suit's not fun.
I'm thinking maybe he sees out of his nose.
No.
Maybe. I don't know.
I've been in some mascot suits. It's interesting.
Great.
Why does it not surprise me that you've been in mascot suits?
Because it's fun.
Alright, moving on from Carlton, we got, I think Spark Bug?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Spark.
Spark, the Tampa Bay
Lightning Bug.
Lightning Bug,
Oh,
yeah.
that's kind of cute.
He's a lightning bug.
I don't hate him.
Look at his little antennas.
I like the little purple spiky
and his
balls.
eyelashes.
Eyelashes.
He's like, eyelashes.
Where does he look out from, Jenny?
His
He's
mouth.
definitely
For
like
sure,
his
his mouth.
Yeah, he's definitely.
I
So,
like
yeah, he's just
Sparky.
like a
I think
lightning
he's my
bug.
favorite one so far.
Yeah, he's a cute little bug.
He's creative.
Yeah.
The lightning bug.
Next we got. I forgot about this one.
I just feel like I'm being pumped.
This is Yuppie
Billion-dollar
or
corporation.
Youpie.
Yeah.
And this is the crap they
The
pull out.
Montreal Canadiens.
Yep,
It's
Youpie.
a person. Why
It's
is
a
it?
Muppet.
But he
He
has
is
a.
So he was literally designed and made by somebody that worked with Jim Henson. So
He's
he's
basically a Muppet.
Was that person fired from working with Jim Henson?
I don't know, but something interesting about him is this is the only mascot that has been the
A person head and an animal monster
that
body?
has been the mascot of 2 different pro teams in 2 different leagues. He was the Expos mascot first.
What's an expo? Like
The,
a
Montreal baseball.
Montreal's baseball team that they no longer have. And then they moved, and then they were like, Montreal's going to adopt Yuppie.
Canada, if these are your mascots, you should stop playing sports.
French Canada. French Canada.
Hey, come on, you like the Moose,
Be
right?
better. Yes.
The Winnipeg Moose.
Sorry, fine. Where is
Benny.
this? Montreal?
This is Montreal,
Well, your team sucks.
Yuppie.
And so does your mascot.
which is, I think, the phonetic of yippee or
Yeah.
hooray or something in French.
Hmm.
Yuppie? Yuppie? I don't know.
Let's get our French friend
He's
on
like
it.
he's like a weird. Oh yeah, we can ask her. He's like a weird person monster.
Didn't she live in Montreal too? Or just visit?
No.
I'm gonna send her. Give me her phone number. I'm gonna send her this picture with no context.
From an unknown
Like,
number.
hey, what's up?
She's gonna cry.
Next up, we
Send it at
got.
lunch
Oh my
tomorrow.
god,
It's slowly downloading. That's how you know it's bad.
these are the Panthers
It has
mascots.
2?
They
They
do.
have 2. Yes, they do. Why is it loading like this?
Because
Dramatic
from the 80s.
effect. One's a panther and one's a wolf.
That's a
It's
rat.
a rat.
Oh.
Yeah. So I forget the names of these guys. Oh, it's Victor E. Rat. I remember
Yeah.
that. But I don't remember the Panther's name.
Do you
So
want to
I
tell
will-
the story?
I will explain it to you. So back in
The 90s.
1996,
Yep.
when
I
they
was 1 year old.
when the Panthers first came into the league,
Mhm.
they did make a run to the Stanley Cup Finals very early on in their team history, and I don't remember why.
It flooded.
The
arena
arena flooded
flooded.
and it killed a bunch of rats.
No.
No?
The arena flooded. And a rat ran through the locker room.
Oh.
And one of the players killed the rat.
That's crazy.
Like,
That's
with his
crazy.
stick, killed
So,
the rat.
okay, so after that, that's insane. I did not know that. Fans, every time they won, would throw not real rats, like fake rubber rats, onto the ice. So hence his name is Victory Rat.
Quitters. They're real fans who have thrown real rats.
Well, I mean,
Commit.
the Red Wings fans used to throw real octopuses
Come on,
onto the ice.
Florida. You're
Nashville
like
throws catfishes.
Oh yeah, that's true. Nashville does throw catfish.
Florida. We know that you have rats. Throw them.
Everywhere has rats.
It's Florida.
So the Panthers have the distinction, I believe, is the only team that has 2 mascots.
Yippee.
Um,
They're not innately horrifying, so I'd say they're doing
No.
a pretty good job.
well, yeah, they
I
look
mean,
okay. It's basically Chuck
the
E.
rat.
Cheese and a panther.
Yeah. The rat's like sticking its tongue out.
No, I think
That's
that's
his
his
teeth.
teeth.
He's a
Those are his
rat.
teeth.
I thought it was tongue because he was dead. 'Cause they
That
killed
would be
him.
funny
Yeah.
if he just had like X'd out eyes. All right,
Horrifying.
next. Speaking of Detroit,
That's actually really cool.
so
It's not a mascot.
yeah, Detroit is the only one whose mascot isn't actually a guy in a suit,
Can
It's
you
a-
imagine if there was a man in there? It's hanging from the ceiling.
and there's just a dude's legs dangling out of the below it. It's a giant inflatable octopus.
I love it.
So the story behind this one, because it doesn't really make sense, Detroit Red Wings octopus doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But like back in the day when there was only very few teams in the league.
Because this was one of the originals.
Yes, exactly.
In case y'all listening didn't
It
know.
only took 8 wins in the playoffs to win the Stanley Cup, and obviously octopus have 8 legs.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And so somebody back in the day, a fish market in Detroit, figured out, or did the math and were like, oh, why don't I throw an octopus onto the ice? And then explained why they did it, and everybody was like, yeah. And then they started throwing like octopus onto the
Were
ice
they
in
dead?
Detroit. Yeah.
Okay, good.
But now the Red Wings have told people to stop doing that.
If you bring an octopus in the ice, you're banned.
So they don't let people do it anymore. But their mascot is now a giant inflatable octopus. I believe his name is Al.
Huh?
So, there you go. Next up. There's the Buffalo Sabres saber-toothed tiger, who is one of the doofiest saber-toothed tigers I think I've ever seen.
I mean, there's multiple teams with the saber-toothed tiger mascot.
Yeah, no,
and
there's
this is
two. There's two. There's this one in Nashville.
I thought there was another one that had some sort of, like...
Well,
I don't think so. Well, there's at least two, which is more than it needs to be.
bad team. It's a bad jersey. It's a bad mascot.
Oh, that jersey's not bad.
That one's fine.
It's pretty. It's just like a really.
just-
You
like,
could be a buffalo. It's right
Yeah, I
there.
don't understand why they're just not a buffalo. When it would make so much more sense. There's a buffalo on their jersey,
Buffaloes are cool, and they're real.
and they're monsters. Well, I mean, saber-toothed tigers
are real.
were real. They're just extinct.
Tell me you know that. Please. You know
They're a
that-
mythological
You
creature.
know that they're not mythological.
Like the
creatures.
Loch Ness Monster in North Dakota.
North Dakota's not real.
Who wants a snow cone? They're lemon flavored.
And then finally, probably the most generic one of them all,
Well, it's Boston.
Blades
Ugh.
the Bear, who is a Bruin.
Ooh.
He's just kind of a generic bear.
Is he wearing a ring?
He is. I'm noticing that too.
Oh my god, he is wearing a ring. Oh, that's so pretentious. I'm sure it's a Stanley Cup ring.
It's Boston.
And that's... Take that, Boston.
I mean, no offense. I have a lot of people that I like.
It's a weird
From
blue-eyed
Boston.
bear.
Listen, blue eyes are beautiful.
It's true, everybody in this room has blue eyes.
But pretentious and Boston are kind of like hand
Especially
in
with
hand.
sports.
I mean, like
It's amazing
the
that they-
Patriots, the Bruins,
The Red
the Red
Sox.
Sox aren't as pretentious.
Yes, they are.
Are they?
Oh, yeah.
100%. It's amazing
Well,
how you
Especially
can
in the
be
last 20 years.
I don't watch
actually won.
baseball.
how you can be
World
so
Series.
good and still have a victim complex.
Tell us what you really feel about that, Clay.
Fuck Boston.
Clay
Oh,
loves
hey.
Boston.
Clay does not like
loves Boston.
The city itself is wonderful.
Sure. Yeah.
The people that live there are great.
Eh.
Their sports teams. Let's not hate. You guys want a fan base, don't you?
Not
This
in
is like-
Boston.
This is like Karen from My Favorite Murder in like San Francisco, or was it Sacramento? It's Sacramento, and she just hates Sacramento.
Shout out
Well,
Karen for
that's
My
the thing.
Favorite Murder.
Boston
Oh my
loves
gosh,
being
please
hated
Do you
too.
tweet-
do you guys want a hockey podcast?
Tweet us.
I'll come be on your podcast.
I just would like to meet you. So
Yeah,
call
same.
me.
So anyway, yeah, Blades. There was some. Oh, that's what it was. There's like a weird backstory with this bear mascot. That's like they wrote out an entire story for this bear, and it was like some old Boston player was playing ice hockey, and this bear came up and was like interested in, and he watched him play ice hockey.
And then he killed it with his stick.
No, and then then the bear got into his car and like hitched a ride to the arena, and then the guy fed him pizza and popcorn, and then he stayed to be the mascot.
Basically, gritty.
Gritty's a meth head that
So
they
this
found on the
whole
street.
story is a lie.
Oh yeah, 100%.
No, I think it's real. This looks like a real bear to me.
Pizza and popcorn.
It's just weird. Sometimes
If they
write
had
like
said
really
just
weird.
pizza or just popcorn, I would have believed it. But pizza and popcorn.
Get out of here.
I think they
absurdity.
even threw soda in there too.
Scott Mellenby killed a rat in the locker room prior to the team's home opener
It's disgusting.
in the
That's savage,
95-96 season.
Oh, that's the year they went to the Stanley Cup
Yes.
Finals.
Or is he
Killed it
who
in the
killed a
home
rat with a
opener
shovel-
and
a
then
shovel?
scored 2 goals with that stick.
Do not approve.
Ew.
Ew.
Ew. That's so gross.
On this podcast, we do not approve of animal cruelty.
Oh man. Well, that's it for this week.
Oh, we're wrapping it up.
Yeah, of course.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
that
that's why
was
you're
all
here,
the mascots.
to wrap it up.
Thank you guys for listening. Anybody that is listening.
Do you guys have a tagline for the end of everything?
Like and subscribe.
We should figure out a tagline, yeah.
Like stay sexy, but not that.
Not
because
that,
that's
we
Karen
can't
and
copy,
George's.
yeah.
Well, we're not going to copy, even
No,
though they're
no.
our idols. I feel like if I keep talking about them, they'll eventually hear this.
Mine and Jenny's idols, anyway.
Yes.
They're
We love
alright.
you.
Along with the guys from the Dog Shout Out.
Karen, your voice is like butter.
All right.
So nice to listen to.
All right.
She just
Georgia,
has a-
Georgia, you're great too.
Calm it down.
George is great.
Keep it in your pants.
Can't. I love them.
Anyway, thank you guys for listening. Please subscribe, review, share us with any of your friends who like hockey. We'll be back next week for more NHL action. Jenny will be back for one more round of mascots. Then we'll have to figure something else out for Jenny's opinion corner. Yeah. Thank you guys for being here.
Bye.
We'll see you next week. I say bye.
No.
Okay.
It's just to see you later.
Bye-bye.